Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to our DLC Global community. It's indeed my pleasure to be here with you all today. I'm Pearl Mistry, Director at Della Group, and today let me tell you a few bits of statistics that have come along. The global chapter has a lot of people from America, a place that we're looking to expand in the next couple of phases. A lot of people, majority being from Europe, Germany, Berlin, and finally, all the way from Australia and New Zealand. While we do this and we start introducing the very best of the global minds on our platform, who better to talk about this than our founder and CEO, Jimmy Mistry?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. People in New York, people in London, Dubai, Hong Kong, Singapore, Bangkok. It fills our heart to see so much of support pouring in from across the world. When we began, this was a simple idea to create a support system for the world of entrepreneurs, professionals, and young leaders. It grew very rapidly. The concept of 26 committees was welcomed by the world. Support system for an entrepreneur consists of not just business knowledge, but also lifestyle knowledge. Almost one common thread binds all of us entrepreneurs, professionals, and young leaders together: the desire to help other humans. Without much ado, I have an amazing evening, an amazing lineup of speakers from across the world with diverse disciplines and backgrounds. And we have a great and a fantastic legend who is our chief guest this evening. Let me introduce Mario Diel. Mario Diel, our first speaker for the evening, hails from our London chapter, plays a key role as an honorary committee member for the ESG DLC Global Committee. He is the chairman and founder of IKAR Holdings, which oversees all the activities of the IKAR Group. The group is currently structured into 3 operational holdings: IKAR Industries Global and IKAR Global Advise. In addition to this, the co-founder of business think tank IKAR Global Institute. Within his entrepreneurial journey for the last 3 decades, he has found, run, and exited more than 100 companies with billions of USD in revenues.
Thank you again. Let me tell you a little bit why I like DLC so much. The first thing is because normally such kind of business platforms, they are coming out of Europe or the United States, but I had never seen it coming out from an emerging market like India. This was very much surprising me, and I was also very much liking it. The second thing was what get my attention was that you combine really everybody. You combine not just the experienced entrepreneurs and executives, you're also involving the young leaders. Life is not only about money. It's not about running more, about profits and getting more profit. It's really also about how we can become friends with people. What is at the end also the purpose of our life? Thank you very much for having me, Jimmy. It's a real pleasure, and you do a great job.
Let me share with the global community, the only financial currency that we recognize on DLC platform is not your balance sheet, not your personal net worth statements, but the number of human lives a person has touched, or the way they have served planet Earth in healing itself. That's the currency that we've come to recognize within DLC. So, Mario, lovely speaking with you as always. Thank you. We have yet another amazing speaker and a friend, somebody whom I really look up to. Immense pleasure to invite from Israel, Dr. Amir Kfir, a peacemaker and founder of Amir Group, Israel, one of the founding members of the Peace Action Network, which addresses problems like nuclear threat, poverty, climate change, and terrorism. Dr. Amir has personally facilitated the conflict forums like Arab American, Israel Arab, Greek Turk, and Jewish Muslims around the world.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. So I'm very proud to be with you guys and to talk about something that I think is one of the probably most significant core values that any leadership group organization can offer, which is the ability to be part of a network, a small group of people that come together to have a meaningful conversation about the challenges and the issues, the ambitions also, and the opportunities that we see for ourselves, that we want to figure out how to capitalize on them or how to deal with those challenges. Forum is this concept of a group of people that come together on a regular basis to have a deep, meaningful conversation under a setting of total confidentiality, to understand together different perspective of how people deal with it. Because it takes 2 to know 1. And if I need to understand things, people looking at me from the outside are able to provide a perspective. Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world, and decided to take action, are actually all motivated by the same thing that you're driven by, which is the ability to make an impact in the world. And making an impact together is much more powerful than standing alone and trying to lift a rock by yourself. Any rock worth lifting requires a group of people that stand from different areas and pick it up together. So the ability to identify a group where you do not feel that you're alone, because being alone at the top with a board above you and a management below you, all looking for aspiration, there is a need to have a place where you can come forward and speak about your challenges and be supported on a regular basis under a setting of confidentiality that creates space for the most deep and meaningful conversation. I look very much forward to the opportunity to support you in building these groups, to support your ability to make a difference in the world with like-minded people who have a high level of commitment to the success of each other. We stand together and we watch each other's back. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Really honored to listen to you, and every time you prefer to spend time with us. I have yet another amazing speaker, Mike Durrie. Mike is from our Cologne-Bonn region, and he's with us for the Risk and Crisis Management Committee. He's the owner of Key Messages, an award-winning communication professional with extensive experience supporting major corporations and entrepreneurs globally. Mike's special focus is on purpose-driven change communications. He's a founding partner of LHD Associates, Chief Content Officer and Chief Economist, a global ecosystem dedicated to human-centered digital economy through advisory services, thought leadership, and impact investment. Mike, a very, very warm welcome from all of us here in Mumbai at our DLC headquarters.
Well, thank you so much for this very gracious introduction, and thank you for having me here. It is a great pleasure and an honor to be part of this. First of all, I can second all of that everyone has been saying. This is a wonderful thing, and I think this is a concept that is deeply needed and deeply relevant today, this in our interconnected world, to interconnect in a way that is meaningful. If we can connect in a way where we share ideas and concepts that can actually make a difference in the world, that's a completely different dimension. And that's where we have to go.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. I have our chief guest this evening, somebody, again, who I'm very, very personally fond of. We have Mr. Prakash Hinduja, Chairman, Hinduja Group, recipient of the ABLF Outstanding Business Citizen Award, Asian Business Leadership Forum. He's a voice of the group at key meetings and discussions around the World Economic Forum, UN General Assembly, World Bank, and International Monetary Fund summits, G20 business summits, and many, many more. But without much ado, would like to request Mr. Prakash Hinduja to grace his presence on stage and address us.
Dear friends, it's a great pleasure and a great privilege to be here. I'm so happy that I was destined to be here, and I never expected that today I'll be with Jimmy, who is the great person with the great intuitions and great ideas, which he has been very successful in his career. He has created a new innovative idea, which I hope that all the great personalities will be here on his platform, and they can share knowledge with each other and try to make the new world. And I wish all the best to him, and I hope that if I can be of any way share with him one of the great knowledges which he can get from the different part of the world, and create all the institutions, the best conferences which are happening from United States to Far East, and bring those conferences speakers to be here. I'll be very happy to introduce him to some of the big ones, so that the world will be really admire him, what he is doing in his life. Thank you very much, Jimmy.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
And I hope that we will have a great success.
I have one more favor to ask of you. Under your banner, we are launching our global chapter AV. Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming here and blessing us.
A global, successful launching of this.
Thank you.
God bless
Thank
you.
you. Please come, sir. I have yet another guest who's present between us, Mr. Kedar Lele. Kedar runs a billion-dollar business while leading a multifunctional team spread across 12 states. ISB gold medalist, a Mika alumni, Kedar holds 2 decades of experience across advertising, internet companies, FMCG marketing, sales and customer development, general management, responsible for setting up the e-commerce business for HUL, apart from leading the modern trade and institutional businesses of Unilever. Kedar, a very, very warm welcome from all of us at DLC headquarters. Lovely to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Jimmy. First, congratulate all of you for being a part of DLC, and to Jimmy for a great idea and the speed with which he has put it all together. 3 observations this evening, or morning if you happen to be in the other part of the world. The center of business as we know it for last 150 years is shifting east and south, and we can't stop it anymore. Since industrialization, 150 years, the center of business was somewhere else, and now it's coming closer to the other side of the world. And hence it's required that more and more professionals, thinkers, participants, and as Jimmy says, entrepreneurs and young professionals join the industry to take the business forward. Second, the way we know business for so many years is changing. If VUCA didn't make sense to you a few years ago, COVID has brought it alive for all of us. And third is my own personal purpose, which I discovered a few years ago, which is to really unleash the hidden energy that people have. And I'm really happy to be here so that I can do my bit in helping those people realize their dreams who for X number of reasons might not be doing it. So once again, congratulations to you, Jimmy, and all the very best on this journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kedar. Let me take the pleasure to invite our next guest speaker, Sebastian. Sebastian is joining us from Munich, Germany. He's part of our Automobiles and Charters Committee. He's the MD of Cox Automotive Continental Europe, Menam and RMS Automotive. He's also a member of the group's European Operating Board, shaping the organizations of Menam, Spain and Portugal, Menam Express and RMS Automotive for Europe. Sebastian, a very warm welcome from all of us at DLC headquarters in Mumbai.
Thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy, I was very pleased to hear that the previous person that was talking about the young generation, the next generation. I am very much a believer of if we don't empower the next generation, as you say, then we will be left out. Digital transformation is something that we also have at our heart, really. As we Mannheim, those of you who know Mannheim as an auction business, coming from a physical business environment, obviously an industry that now needs to move into digital, selling cars online, but also the whole automotive industry. I'm sure most of you guys have heard of the chip shortage that is going around the world right now, that has hit the automotive industry heavily. Comes actually from a very simple reason, right? If you don't estimate right what is your real risk, then very quickly actually you come to a point where you're caught on the wrong foot, and that's happened to an automotive industry. That I'm really looking forward to the first physical event that we hopefully can do with this group or people of this group here in Munich.
We all are looking forward to be in Munich in one of our personal events. Lovely speaking with you. Thank you, Sebastian, for being with us. I have yet another friend and a colleague who's here, right here, Jyotirmoy Bose, within the studios. I would like to invite Jyoti on stage. Jyoti is a consultant to DLC, and he's been a mentor to us right from the beginning, an organizational capacity building coach, a mid-market family-owned business, funded early-stage tech startups, government entities in Middle East and South Asia. He's also an advanced facilitator at Sloan's MIT School of Organizational Learning, on the board of a couple of Dubai government organizations, and a mentor at IIT Delhi's incubator. Jyoti is an alumnus of IIT Delhi, IIM Calcutta. Jyoti, welcome.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you for having me here. Each time I come here, I come here once a month, and I'm amazed at the pace and the traction that you've got from the time you got this idea in your head during COVID. What do I like about some of the things you are doing, right? The curation of communities, the fact that I can be vulnerable in my forum group together. You're using technology to, at state-of-the-art technology to bring it all together. I think all of this, and of course the network of networks that you're creating through this, this whole idea of mentoring is passé, reverse mentoring of youth doing it for the older. I think all of these are, you've got the secret sauce and the ingredient. I think you're cooking the recipe well. Best of luck, Jimmy, and I think you'll do well.
Thank you. The secret sauce rests in the hands of everybody out there who's supporting us. Without their support, we couldn't have achieved anything. Onboarding more than 2,200 amazing people across the world, men and women of eminence, and who are divided between entrepreneurs, professionals, young leaders, has taken a toll on us. But now we are kind of going out with full speed, steam, and what excites us and gives us sleepless nights is the social impact. Thank you, Jyoti, for coming here and supporting us and mentoring us.
Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, Jyoti. Well, I would like to invite our next guest, Mr. Kumar Vaidya. He's also an early investor within DLC. It's a pleasure to have you amidst us at the studio. Mr. Vaidya is a seasoned entrepreneur, hails from the founding family of Zandu Pharmaceuticals. He's a key investor in companies operating in aviation technology, consumer goods sector. He's on the board of Vintage Wines, which produces Revelo, one of India's premium wines. Passionate about music, also actively promotes young music talent. Dev, welcome on board. These are some of the people with whom I've been sharing my early stage ideas.
Here, dude.
So it was. How long back did I share the idea of DLC with you?
It wasn't too long ago, but you just work at the pace of somebody who's so fast that to keep up with you is a little trying at times if you aren't all there.
Lovely to have you with us.
We've got Carolina joining us all the way from Milan. Carolina Nisivoccia. She started the Carolina Nisivoccia Architetto in Milan. She's internationally awarded architect and art director, lecturer, professor. She was the artistic director of Super Studio for 3 consecutive editions. So let's put it together for Carolina.
So thank you, Jimmy, for this invitation. Thank you for being a part of this incredible network. What you have done with DLC reminds to me of a famous short novel written by Jean Genot. It was written a long time ago, and the title is The Man Who Planted the Trees. So there is a man who decides that the land around him is really desolated. And so he decides that in his life, every day he will plant 100 acorns for several years. Alone by himself, every day he plants these acorns. And after that long time, from the acorns comes out a forest made of wonderful trees and very high and very strong and very dense, and also of different types, not only acorns, a wonderful forest. And the following transformation of the landscape, that now is beautiful, really make the village that was abandoned again fully populated. People now are happy because the life is changing, starting from the man who made the forest, and the people are really owe their happiness to this man. So I think if I look at DLC, that you are the man who planted the acorns. We are the acorns, and now you made a forest, and I think this is really amazing. And I think that we all know that in a forest, the trees live together in synergy. And I think the synergy is what is going to grow more and more among all us. And also, I think that the exciting thing is that we can exchange knowledge, culture, skills. And this is what is going to put us in the direction of a life of significance. So thank you for all of this. So if I can help you in this field, it's really a big pleasure for me. So thank you for all.
Grazie, Carolina. Molto grazie.
Grazie.
Well, I have our director, Shilpi Xing, to welcome on stage.
A very good evening to everybody over here. Good morning to others. Dr. Irene, she's joining us from Munich, Germany, and is a part of our Happiness Committee and alumnus of University of London, University of Bremen, University of Warwick. Irene is a serial entrepreneur dedicated to helping solo entrepreneurs, influencers, employees, startups, and small businesses set up their strategy. She is a part of InsurTech Hub Munich, EIT Health, European Commission, On Point, LinkedIn Local, and many more.
Thank you so much for the invitation and for the warm introduction. And what I really like about the DLC community is that you really bring entrepreneurs, professionals, young leaders together to positively impact the world. And that's in fact what I also stand for. And this community for me is all about giving and taking. You know, it's a mutual thing. So I can contribute in terms of my experiences, since I have different perspectives from large corporations, from startups, from the public sector, and also from social entrepreneurship. So I'm very, very happy and excited to be amongst you.
So it's lovely speaking to you. Thank you, Irene.
Thank you so much, Irene. So we have our next guest over here. He's one of our early investors, Mr. Shashank Soni. He's Chief Financial Officer, IKAR Recycling Limited. Alumnus from Cardiff University, featured in Bloomberg, Economic Times, Business Standard, Financial Express in past. His company is listed in PSE and recycles electrical and electronic waste. The company refurbishes equipment for resale and disassembles components and recovers precious metals, glass, plastic, and other materials, and disposes of hazardous substances. Welcome, Shashank.
So Shashank does something very, very interesting. When we are talking about healing the earth, I think he plays a critical role. It's India's only e-waste management company, and which is public listed across on BSE. So what you do, why don't you tell the world a little about what you do in e-waste management?
So this company is formatted over a decade and a half. The company's name is IKAR Recycling Limited, short formed as IKAR. We are listed on the Bombay Stock Exchange and operating over 130 countries across the world. So basically, we are supporting the Mother Nature Earth by clearing out the electronic waste recycling portion and collecting electrical and electronic material from all across the world, and from major MNCs and corporates in India and major fortune companies across the world. And that's how we recycle everything down to basic raw material and precious metal recycling and make sure everything goes back to the basic industry.
Super. I wish we could find out 1,000 more ways to heal the world, and people like you actually put it into implementation. It's such a social enterprise. Shashank, thank you for being with us over here, and so lovely speaking to you. Thank you for the support.
Thank you so much.
We have our chapter director in Dubai. Mahtab, welcome.
Now, I would like to introduce our next speaker for the evening, Mr. Samuel Shea. He's joining us today all the way from Tel Aviv. He is from our ITS committee, President of Gulf Technology Systems and founder of GTS. He is official representative of the UAE government in Israel and the chairman of the Israel-UAE Business Forum by the Israel Minister of Regional Cooperation. Welcome, Samuel.
Samuel, a warm welcome from all of us at DLC.
Hello, Jimmy. Nice to see you. Thank you very much. It's a great honor to be here today. We see that it's very important, actually, what's happening on the DLC. And the way things need to move forward in the future, especially with the young entrepreneur and the professional people. The COVID pandemic actually shows us that the play and the rules of life are not the same as what we thought in the past, and a lot of things have changed. And eventually is the question how we come to this position. And the DLC, it's a great platform really to bring all those people together as far as the vision, the capability, the understanding, each one the way you can contribute for the future of a new development. One of the best examples is really the Abraham Accord, the peace agreement between Israel and the Arab countries, where we saw that eventually a common interest really waved away 70 years of conflict, 70 years of understanding, and the way when we find a common ground, everything was really come into place and a lot of things was able to accomplish. And this is why this, the way we see it with the DLC is really to embrace and combine the knowledge of all the people on the DLC and the way we can come and generate a better humanitarian project in the future, the way we can help each other, and the best way really to accomplish what we like to do and to see for a better future.
I love what you do. Thank you, Samuel, for being with us.
Our next guest for the evening, I would like to invite Mr. Sushil Wadhwa on stage. Sushil is a luxury lifestyle and travel influencer, passionate entrepreneur, health enthusiast, celebrations crossiner, TV host, and growth advisor.
I think, firstly, it's really an honor and a pleasure, a privilege to be on DLC. I've seen you work literally night and day, not just for DLC. I've known you even when you were making the Della Resort, and I think we've gone up at 3 o'clock in the morning to see the place where the tents were come up where there was nothing, and you made it a reality, and it's a huge success. And I've seen the same thing with DLC, that you've been working with the entire team here, and I think I can already see the shapings up so beautifully. So it's really wonderful to see how you've put in your heart, soul, and made this a beautiful reality.
You know, what interests me and fascinates me is there are all the learning platforms in the world and everybody thinks and focuses purely on business. I'm not saying business is not important. Profession is super important. That's only 50% of the life.
Correct.
And remaining 50% is all to do with lifestyle.
Yes.
Because for a significant life, you need to have equally balanced work and personal life entails lifestyle. And that's an area where you understand a thing or two, and you can share that knowledge with the rest of the world, which is what I really appreciate. Lovely having you here with us. Thank you, Sushil.
Thank you for having me, Jimmy.
Cheers.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you. I have so many of these youngsters working across at DLC, right from the foundation, right from the time we conceptualize it, until the time we put it in fruition. I've got yet another young lady, Natalia.
Hi, I'm Natalia Mistry, Chief Marketing Officer, Della Resorts. While moving on with the show, I would like to invite our next speaker, Frédéric Dormé. Joining us from Monaco is part of our Automobiles and Charter Committee, founder and CEO of Universal Luxury Consulting, a member of the illustrious Dormé Fabrics family. Frédéric Dormé spent a few years in his family's businesses of Universal Luxury Consulting. He was involved in the launch of Aston Martin's pioneering heritage racing Orbit. In the yachting sector, he is best known for spearheading Libra's The Super Yacht Show. Welcome, Frédéric.
Frédéric, a warm welcome from all of us.
And what I think is fascinating, looking at all the people you've got here on this conference, we have a choice, Jimmy, and as we get older, as Michael says, we don't have a lot of time left, and this choice allows us to join things, be a part of things or not. And for me, what drew me to you was this discussion of success going into significance. I think sadly COVID is going to draw people a little bit backwards and want to regain and find that success again, but you're so right. It comes to a point in life where being significant has so much more meaning than it does just being given a clap in the office, what I call. Let's be frank, travel is not going to be the same. I think we were all so very used to jumping to Australia for the day, coming back for the afternoon. That's not going to happen. So platforms like these are ever more important so that we keep that communication up. And I think there's a desire to want to keep it up as well. We've been stuck at home in our little boxes and shells, and now is the time. Mr. Gandhi once said, live as if you were to die tomorrow, learn as if you were to live forever. You are setting up one of the most incredible and fun platforms of learning. So an absolute joy to be with you. I can't wait for you to open the Monaco chapter. I'm not sure how big it'll be, knowing the amount of people who live here, but a great pleasure, Jimmy, and thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. I love the enthusiasm. I love the support that we're getting across on this platform throughout the world. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Frédéric, for being with us. I have our chapter director from our London chapter, Ashni.
I'm honored to be the director of the London chapter and introduce our next guest all the way from Brussels, Belgium. I would like to welcome Bart Payton. He is from our Risk and Management Committee. Director of Bart Payton Management, Bart is a global multicultural senior executive. He is a strategy advisor to Durrie Water Group, the largest public water utility in Belgium, and to Invibes Advertising, a pan-European scale-up in digital advertising. Welcome, Bart.
First of all, I would like to congratulate Jimmy and the DLC Global Business Network for this initiative. When we're entering a post-pandemic new paradigm, the world is changing very quickly. We see the end to the globalization, we see segregated regional blocks, digital connections, and it has already been mentioned, a VUCA world. So the DLC initiative is well timed for this new area. But DLC is not just about connecting, it's also about contributing. It is helping people around the world. I would like to contribute businesses and people with strategy, with growth, with international expansion, with optimizing their organization. Congratulate Jimmy, all well done DLC. Let's work together and let's make it happen.
Thank you, Bart, for those inspiring. Grateful to you, mate, for all the support. Our Risk and Crisis Management Committee is amazing, and they have a major role to play because in this VUCA world, everything is about risk and crisis management. There's crisis everywhere happening. Thank you, Ashni. Thank you, Bart. I have yet another friend over here who's present in the studios, whom I would like to invite across on stage, Mr. Anuj Goenka, Managing Director of Artex Surf and Chemicals, specializing in manufacturing of chemicals used for electroplating and metals. Anuj, a warm welcome. So Anuj, how does it feel to see DLC grow from a small concept to where it has come?
I think it's reached a level which is going to be superb, and the way you said it, that it's going to be touching a lot of hearts and a lot of people, and it's reached to a great level. It's superb.
Thank you, Anuj. Thank you for being here. All these people have supported me behind the scenes. Each one has sold in one idea or the other. And today, whatever DLC represents, believe you me, it's not all me, though the name might be mine, but it's all of you who've contributed across to the spontaneous and amazing growth of DLC. I have yet another young lady, Monica. She's from our London chapter. She's going to be handling and handholding DLC members across, introducing our next speaker.
Hello, thank you, Mr. Mistry, and good afternoon and good evening to everyone. I would now like to invite Dr. Carrine Teoh to join us from Malaysia. She's part of our Security and Cybersecurity Committee. With a vast experience of over 2 decades in various roles in the IT industry and specializing in cybersecurity over 10 years, she is passionate about the synergy of business and technology. She was awarded Top 10 Women in Security in Malaysia in 2020. So a very warm welcome to Dr. Carrine Teoh.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate each and every one of you because I think each of you took a bold step to be part of DLC, to see that, to strive for something bigger than ourselves, to strive for a life of significance. I think when I was approached about DLC, I was thinking too, is that possible? So, and I think I'm very happy and very honored to be part of it. And I'm glad what I've observed is that we have a great team of very diverse experts that is full of diversity and inclusion. I look forward to work with each and every one of you to create social impact that could actually be bigger than each of us. Because I always believe that the total sum is actually always more than some of its parts. I would like to contribute more from my experience in engineering, cybersecurity, business, and looking forward to synergize all these different fields to learn from each and every one of you. Thank you.
You know, in this VUCA world, security plays such a critical role. Post-pandemic, the number of cyber attacks have multiplied many, many times over than we had ever seen them 2 years or before. People like you can really handhold entrepreneurs, educate them from cybersecurity knowledge from a management perspective, and that is so critical to us because most managements believe that cybersecurity is to be left to specialists and they don't dabble in it, they don't even get the basic ideas and knowledge in it. This is my point of disagreement with some of the biggest leaders in the world who sit on multiple boards, and that's where people like you can play a critical role. I'm very well aware of it, along with our Security and Cybersecurity Committee consisting of some of the best people and the best names in the world. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Monica. Well, I have our New York team member, DLC, Devanshi. Devanshi is a postgraduate from Brett. And Devanshi, over to you.
Thank you, Jimmy. I would like to invite our next speaker, Terence Jeyaretnam. Terence is joining us all the way from Melbourne and is part of our ESG committee. Terence is an environmental engineer and partner at EY in the climate change and sustainability practice based in Melbourne. He is EY's national leader for Indigenous reconciliation as well as the D&I leader for EY's Melbourne office. He is a fellow of the Institute of Engineers Australia. Terence could not be here with us and he has shared a video note with us.
My name is Terence Jeyaretnam. I'm a partner with Ernst & Young in the Climate Change and Sustainability Services Division. The Della Leaders has a great motto, which is to share the knowledge and the expertise and experience of the collective in order to improve the well-being and the societal benefits of everyone. And The global chapter, I think, is a great opportunity for people globally to connect on these issues. Some of the wicked problems of today require global collective action, and I think this is another way of getting it done. So my understanding of what DLC is trying to do with connecting in through the UN Sustainable Development Goals and aligning the work that it does to the 54 areas of opportunity is that I think the goals are global goals, and global goals require the best of the world that has to offer. And I think a network is the best way of bringing all of the best innovation, the best thought leadership, and the best in knowledge and research together to solve problems in not just one area, but across sectors. Because what you will then have is hopefully cross-sector collaboration to solve some of the issues of today.
Thank you. We have yet another colleague from Bangalore chapter, the director of our Bangalore chapter, Hina Vinci.
Hello everyone, this is Hina Vinci from Bangalore chapter. Let us now invite our next speaker for the evening, Bob Sherwin. Bob is joining us from Australia and is part of our ITES committee. Bob is globally recognized for developing Encompass Blue, which won the highly commanded Award of Excellence in FM 2020. He's also won the IoT Pioneer Award and the FMA FM Industry Award for Excellent Industry Innovation. Mr. Bob is not with us today. We do have his voice note with us.
When I heard about the goals of DLC in terms of supporting a number of goals in helping sustainability, moving towards carbon net zero, and help alleviate poverty where we can. And with a powerful group of business people and entrepreneurs and organizations from all around the world coming together and then supporting some very positive goals, which are very much aligned, by the way, with that of myself and Blue IoT, I thought this is a great way to go forward with like-minded people who actually care, and it's not a marketing slogan. DLC is the philosophy on the delivery of outcomes and helping one another and helping communities both within business and well beyond that to those who really need help. So make a difference, but also meet all sorts of wonderful people locally and in India, your head office, but with entrepreneurs from all around the world connected too, which is a wonderful group of great people.
Bob, thank you. Bob has been an ardent hardcore supporter. Hina, thank you. I have yet another friend to invite across on stage, Rajesh Mulchandani, who's been helping DLC, patronizing DLC with people across the world and bringing some of the best assets onto DLC platform. Rajesh, a warm welcome from all of us. I personally made it my endeavor to make sure that everybody with whom I had spoken and who supported DLC get their true and let the world see the faces across of men and women of eminence who are right behind, who really supported us to create all of this.
But Jimmy, it's always been a pleasure to support you, because for one thing that is for a fact, that whatever you take to do, it is done to perfection. So to support somebody with so much passion, to support somebody with so much endurance and a vision, it's only an honor. Thank you, Jimmy.
My pleasure.
And I'll keep doing it.
Thank you, Rajesh. Well, that comes to the end of our speakers. And I'm sure there are a couple of questions that you people have. We have our first question from Kristina. Kristina from Barcelona.
Yes, hello, Jimmy, and great to be part of this global expert community. I have a quick question, actually a practical question, because here I'm in Spain, being an ambassador of Spanish organic wines. It would be a pleasure to actually know what can I do, what kind of brand collaboration could I offer so that we could bring all these beautiful, sustainable wineries closer to the world and to the members of Dela Club?
Kristina, it's a good question. Thank you. Well, brand collaboration is a very important part and parcel of what DLC is offering. So what do we mean by brand collaboration? So we are not looking at discounts and frivolous things in brand collab and acting as a concierge service to people. Rather, what we are looking for and what we are excited is to create experiences. What do entrepreneurs and professionals and young leaders desire? Do they desire experiences and knowledge on enjoying the finer things in life? So with the Brand Collab team, you can collaborate. You can get in the best brands in the world and curate and create experiences along with our Brand Collab teams and offer these experiences not to one HNI, VHNI elitist individual, but democratize the offer and offer it to all our members across the world. So the difference between a concierge service who will offer the finest things to their HNIs and VHNIs, we are more democratic in our ways of thinking, and we like to reach out to all our members with equality at its base. Thank you, Kristina. I hope I've been able to answer your question. Thank you. I really am thankful to you. I hope you guys have enjoyed this evening as much as we've enjoyed putting it all together for you. Thank you all. Love you and see you soon. Cheers.